Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Raw Review, August 20th. I'm sorry, but unfortunately my internet went down, so I wasn't able to upload this on Tuesday. Sue me. Okay, let's get into this review. First part of the review, opening segment. You have Brock and Paul Heyman, who had a very good opening promo. They're saying pretty much since Brock beat Triple H, Brock now is and should be known as the King of Kings. And while this went on, I was actually quite surprised when they called Scott Armstrong to the ring. You don't usually see refs being called to the ring often in WWE, like in TNA. And Scott thought he was about to get pounded. I thought he was going to get pounded. But when Brock said good work, I thought, something different. I enjoyed this segment because at least you can say that Heyman put Triple H over, which put Brock over more. And I like that. You put over the face a bit, which brings up the heel more. If I understand correctly, that's how I'm doing it in reverse. I think I'm doing it in reverse. If you bring up the heel more by saying a lot of bad things about the heel, that also brings up the face. I think that probably is right. Like I said, I'm still getting used to this, and I'm a little nervous still a little bit. Anyway, six-man tag. Kofi, R-Truth with Sin Cara, primetime players with Cody Rhodes. Didn't need to be done. Wasn't a bad match. Cody got pinned by Sin Cara. You could have Sin Cara and Cody by themselves. Since they're trying to make this into a feud, it should have been done that way. Primetime players and Kofi and R-Truth did not need to be interjected in this. It was ridiculous. Next, backstage with AJ Lee and Matt Striker beginning to talk about the request from CM Punk about him picking his #1 contender. And the moment while they're beginning to talk like that, guess who comes out of nowhere? You get David Otunga, the jobber in question. The best jobber we have next to Heath Slater. And he's clean shaven like a little baby boy. Looks terrible. He should have kept the whiskers. The mustache and beard made it look much better. He tries to sell to AJ he should be the attorney for her. Tries to kiss her butt. Say, I'm the best person you could ever have that will protect the WWE, protect you. Anyone who tries to go after you is crazy. Bad move. Piss AJ off. Guess what? He's got a match later. We'll get into that later. Next, you have Ryback. And I wish to say now, people are really getting behind him. And that's good. I said in previous video that it would have been better that Ryback had only put in one Feed Me More in his theme song. I still do believe that, but you know what? Taking away what I believe, I am extremely happy he's getting a response. People now getting behind the Feed Me More bit, which would make sense to do it 3 times, but I really felt like it was better as one. Anyway, he's going up against 2 jobbers that look like it would be good for the X Division TNA, and you never know, we may see them there. But anyway, he begins to squash them, and then Jinder Mahal comes in and beats on Ryback and then throws him into the camel clutch. Now, I wish to say that they have done a very bad job with Jinder Mahal before doing this feud with Ryback. Jinder Mahal has almost no credibility. He has been squashed by everybody. I can only say that they're trying to rectify this by making Ryback get beaten on a little bit. It didn't work that well because Ryback still became dominant, but at least they're doing this to make up for such bad booking, because they have done it bad. Next, we have ADR coming out. And I'm not doing this in sequence, because some of this is very upsetting. You'll see in the description. ADR comes out, and he says he has been cheated. You already know what happened in SummerSlam. The shoe to the head and the leg on the ropes, which wasn't considered. Screaming for a rematch. AJ comes out, which he does throughout the entire night, which I really got annoyed about. Anyway, she comes out and says, I'm sorry, this is not SmackDown. I cannot make that match for you, but I can give you an opponent. You got Randy Orton. I'm not a big Orton fan at all. But you got to be honest that at least he's hopefully changed his ways a little bit from already now getting 2 suspensions from the WWE. Hopefully you don't get a 3rd one. Anyway, the match, at least I can say, was decent. They have better chemistry now than they did in the last couple of matches a while back. They didn't have very good chemistry. I believe now at least it's a little bit better. While this is going on, Sheamus comes out and then goes to the commentary table, and Cole basically rakes him over the coals, not trying to be funny, but rakes him trying to say, you're a face, how could you cheat? And I'm saying, basically, not exactly by word for word, oh, I have a great Lucky Charms in my pocket. Essentially saying, because he's Irish, he got the Irish luck on his side. Basically, by the end of the match, he helps Randy Orton by distracting ADR and also letting the ref notice that his leg was on the, I don't know why I'm blanking, for some strange reason, on the ring ropes. For some reason, I don't know. But he won that match because of Sheamus, and you never know. They may keep up with this feud, or they may switch over to Randy Orton. You never know. Next, you have... This is where it's upsetting. Chris Jericho and Dolph Ziggler. Why? Why? I don't get it. You could have had this match in SummerSlam. You could have prepared this before SummerSlam. Putting into it, backstage, Dolph approaches Chris saying, oh, I'm glad you finally won a big one, but you still can't beat me. They had that little exchange. AJ Lee comes out, and I wish to say right now, I hope AJ gets a secretary, because seeing her constantly being thrown down my throat is annoying the crap out of me. Give her a secretary. I don't care who it is. Let it be Caitlyn. Let it be anybody. Let it be someone. Do something different. I'm getting sick of this. Give her a secretary so that secretary can do the work, or a vice president of, or whatever. But anyway, she says, you know what? Since you still have this problem, contract versus contract. Chris against Dolph. Chris's contract against Dolph, Money in the Bank. Why? That's all I'm saying now. I'll leave the match at the end. Next, you have Brodus Clay, and then you have Damien Sandow. Match wasn't bad at all. The contrasting styles was good. The match was a bit short. The thing that was upsetting, which I really believe they didn't need to do this, was that Damien won the match. I believe he should have been allowed to leave, and then they can do something more to continue the feud. Doesn't mean they won't continue it. It's just that they could have hyped this better. When Damien lost, he essentially got squashed, splatted by Brodus Clay afterwards. And then the Funkadactyls come in with kids. I really believe that wasn't necessary. Brodus needs to show, like I said in my previous videos, that he's more than his gimmick. He needs to have more to his character. He's not like Rikishi. He's not even close to being a Rikishi. At least not yet, if he even comes near Rikishi. No one has ever touched Rikishi and his in-ring performance and his character. But at this moment, they're keeping only with the gimmick. I want to see them expand from that. And don't get me wrong, I love the Funkadactyls. And I wish to say right now, the Funkadactyls, during the SummerSlam theme song dance, they showed more enthusiasm. The enthusiasm with most of the divas was not there. Not saying there wasn't enthusiasm with a lot of them, but it wasn't really there. But I really believe Brodus needs something better than this. Next, HBK. I'm not even going to get into this. HBK is Triple H's best friend. They really care about each other. I can say this, it was too long, it felt forced, and HBK just wasn't crisp. He wasn't himself. I just didn't like it. Next, make this short and sweet. You have Dave Otunga jobbing to Big Show. Quick. End. The little backstage thing at SummerSlam, dude, it's a triple threat. Don't say you want to do one-on-one with somebody. I can do one-on-one with anybody. It's a triple threat. Deal with it, son. You lost. Next, a match that really didn't need to be done, and I hate it. You have Miz and Daniels versus Kane and Zack Ryder. This is only about Kane and Daniel Bryan. They continue the storyline with AJ Lee. No point. I was hoping they would end this, and they didn't. It's ridiculous. It made no sense. They didn't need to do it. And now it's beginning to get boring. I hope they'll end this soon, maybe at Night of Champions, but I don't think so. 3 more to go. Divas Battle Royal. Only thing you can say is Caitlyn won. You had Layla looking surprised that she won. No one cares. If Karma hadn't had her miscarriage, and I'm really sorry about that, and now she's created a foundation for women who've had children that had I believe, miscarriages or stillborns. I really hope that Karma does well. I really hope everything becomes better for her. I really feel sorry for her, and I really believe she's a nice lady, really pretty. Now I hope her life gets better by doing this. Next to last, you have Cena and Punk. Punk comes out, tries to get Lawler to apologize for saying you have turned your back on the WWE, Punk. He wanted an apology. Cena comes out. It didn't need to be done. You could have had this done more than almost a month ago. You could have had Punk turn heel early. And then by the time SummerSlam came around, he would have already been heel, and this would have been better for the storyline. This little bit between them for that almost 15-minute or more promo, it was stupid. It made no sense. Cena's gotten his ass kicked almost every time he's gone up against Punk, particularly when he lost the belt. And Punk left the company for a short time, which was really dumb, the way they brought him back. But taking away from that, Punk beat him. If he goes up against Punk again, it's still going to be about Cena. It would have been better maybe Cena leaving or giving up the C-Nation if it was going to be something more. Oh, I want you to say I'm the best in the world was dumb. And then kicking Lawler in the head when he really apologized but then really didn't like it was stupid. Lastly, and I put this in the script in the title, it's upsetting, why Dolph Ziggler and Chris Jericho had this match on television instead of in the pay-per-view. We needed this. They needed it. We already know that Chris Jericho is already thinking about basically leaving. If he's going back on tour with Fonzie, or if he's ready just to retire, because they said he's almost ready for retirement. It would have been better to have a pay-per-view match where he gave up his contract that way. And for Dolph has had no wins. It's been so bad for Dolph. I'm not a Dolph fan. I can understand what Tony T sees in him. He does have potential. He jobs very well and sells everything he does. But the problem is that they're not allowing him to have any wins. He needs wins. He's only had 1 win over Chris Jericho, but that was on TV. He needed another win on this pay-per-view. And it made no sense. They both deserve this pay-per-view. And I'm going to leave it in the description box. They deserve better. This sucked. This was wrong. Chris, who has worked so hard for WWE, who's shown such a great character there, deserves better to be treated like this. And I'm saying right now, it's wrong. It is. My grade for this, D+, because of what happened with Dolph and Ziggler. That was the premier thing that was there. Having that bad, long, lengthy speech from HBK where it looks like it was forced and it wasn't the words he really wanted to say was a bad one. Brodus Clay and Damien Sandow, they shouldn't have done it like that. It would have been better to structure it better. Sin Cara with R-Truth and Primetime Players with Cody Rhodes wasn't necessary. Oh, and I almost forgot, which even made it even worse. Brock Lesnar is now finished with the WWE, which is even more dumber. This is a D+ show. I hope you enjoyed the Zane's View. Subscribe and comment. Have a good day.